Hey everyone, it's Sean from SaleHoo. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to start and populate your very own profitable online store with Shopify. Not just any store, I mean a profitable one. Unlike other tutorials, they just show you how to set one up, and once you have your store set up, crickets. 95% of Shopify stores close without sales, and only 5% succeed. At SaleHoo, we want to make sure that you are part of those that succeed. That is why we decided that we would make a video showing you how to not only set up your Shopify store from scratch, but also how to optimize it to ensure that it is profitable. Also, we will be addressing and providing solutions on these most common pain points that most aspiring e-commerce entrepreneurs have with building an online store, like it being time-consuming, not sure how to start properly, thinking you need to know coding but actually you don't, being overwhelmed by the functions of the platform, but if you just spend a bit of time to look into it, you'll find it's very easy. Don't know which apps to use, can't decide if Shopify is the best option, maybe WordPress, maybe WooCommerce. You're not sure if what you're selling will actually make money. If you have felt any of these pain points, this video is definitely for you. Now let's get into starting your very own profitable Shopify store. Before we get started on the setup and optimization process, I just want to briefly address why we recommend you use Shopify to build your online storefront. For only $29 a month, which is less than a pair of shoes, you can get started with one of the best, if not the best, e-commerce platform out there. Even billion-dollar e-commerce companies like Gymshark and Steve Madden use Shopify for their e-commerce website because it is that reliable. As you grow, Shopify has other subscription plans that you can go for. But for most of you getting started, the $29 a month plan will be best for you. Not using an e-commerce platform like Shopify would be very time-consuming. You would have to do everything manually. With Shopify, you will save a ton of time as you will have access to website templates to build your store quickly, import products to your store easily, integrate with social media sites, connect your preferred payment processors like Stripe and PayPal, customize your store with Shopify's editor, rank on search engines by optimizing your SEO easily within Shopify. Those are all the reasons why we recommend Shopify. Now let's start with the setup process. The first step is to prepare all your business essentials. There are some essential things that you need to prepare: your business idea, business name, logo, and product photos. Let's go through them one by one. For business ideas, well, there are many possible ones you can come up with. If you're still struggling to come up with a business idea, you may want to do product research first to find a product to sell. Use tools like SaleHoo Market Research Labs, ad spy tools like PP Ads or AdSpy, browse social media sites for free with sites like TikTok, and watch our YouTube videos to learn how to do product research. Next, you're going to want to establish what type of store you are. You can be a one-product store, niche store, or general store. Each of them have their pros and cons, but the most important thing to note here is you will want to make your store as branded as possible and go with the type that suits your needs. Here are some guidelines. Want to sell and test many different products? Go with a general store. Want to sell various products within a specific niche, for example, one that you are passionate in? Go with a niche store. Want to give your products the best chance of success by branding and optimizing your store to the maximum? Go with a one-product store. I cannot stress enough that you should try to make your store as branded as possible no matter which type of store you go for. Here at SaleHoo, we'd recommend going with a niche store for most beginners. This is because niche stores have great branding potential and flexibility to test many products without having to open a new store every time a product does not work out. For your business name, you can easily go to your local trademark office like uspto.gov to see whether your business name has been taken. You can also go to Namelicks to come up with business names if you have trouble coming up with one. Also, go to namechecker.com to see if your domain and social media handles for it are available. For logos, you can potentially use Canva to create your own logo design easily, and Canva is ridiculously simple to use, by the way. Want a super original and professional logo though? You can go with Adobe Illustrator to make it yourself. However, I don't recommend it to most people since there is a learning curve to use Adobe Illustrator. Alternatively, you can just get someone to make one for you. We recommend 99 Designs if you want to go that route. For your product photos, you can get it from your supplier, but just make sure that it is not copyrighted by using Google Image Search to look for matching images with branded stores. A better thing to do when it comes to product photos is to order a sample of your product so you can shoot infinite creatives with the product and you get to assess the quality of the product from your supplier. Also, you are likely going to want to come up with brand colors and brand fonts and stick to it for consistency when branding, as branding will be extremely important when creating a Shopify store that actually brings in profit. To choose your brand colors, you can just use Canva's color palette generator and upload some photos from your mood board, which you can generate ideas for on Pinterest. Canva will then generate a color palette based on the colors of the photos with that mood you are going for. For fonts, you can use any of Canva's fonts and start with any of the logos on Canva, but make sure to customize it to your brand, as you shouldn't be using them without customizing them. Now that you have your business essentials in order, you should now create a Shopify account. By the way, if you want to create an account first, it's honestly up to you. You can arrange the steps in this video in the order you feel works for you. Now, you're going to want to create an account with Shopify by following my screen here, click by click. First, go to Shopify website at shopify.com, click Start a Free Trial. Now, enter your email address, password, and store name, which you should have come up with in the previous step. Next, click Create Your Store. Now, fill this form up by clicking the drop-down and choosing the answer that best describes your situation, or you can skip this entirely. Let's just skip it. Now let's just fill up the necessary details here. And finally, click Enter My Store. Voila! You now have a Shopify account, free for 14 days, and this is your Shopify dashboard, which we will go through in the next step. Now that you're in your Shopify dashboard, you can finally create your website. Let's create the home page first. You will need to choose a theme for your Shopify store. Actually, you can choose any theme that you want, and it can still look branded. Just remember to use your logo and stick to your brand colors and fonts for consistency to therefore build stronger branding. But if you're wondering what we recommend, well, personally, I like Debut and Brooklyn. These two themes are very clean looking and free. I'd say Debut and Brooklyn are great for general and niche stores. Another great theme is Impulse, and is a theme that famous dropshippers like Jordan Welsh actually recommend. What I noticed about these themes though is that it is certainly customizable, but you're kind of restricted to the elements available for that particular theme. So alternatively, you could use Pagefly, which is an app in the Shopify App Store. There are a lot of templates within Pagefly that you can make use of, and we'd say that Pagefly is great for one product stores because you can get really branded when using Pagefly. Now you're going to want to build your store and make it look as branded as possible. Make sure to buy your domain here. You can buy it straight from Shopify, or you can buy it from other sites like Namecheap and connect it to Shopify. We recommend that you get a .com domain since we want the store to look very branded. You will want to edit your brand color and fonts by going to the theme settings, and edit colors and typography to the ones you came up with in step 1. You will also want to include your logo by going to header and uploading your logo. Now you will need to work on the homepage of the store. In terms of layout for your store, you could easily follow the theme's layout, or you can take inspiration from a similar brand that you look up to, or you can literally use Pagefly's layouts, which are already optimized to make your store look as branded as possible. I'll just use Pagefly's homepage template for our example here so that you can see how your store could look. Also, as you can see, there is copywriting involved in making your store. The themes you choose and Pagefly already give you a starting point, as we can see here. But if you want examples that are closer to the type of store you are trying to open, it's best to just take a look at your top competitors and see how they did it for reference. Pro tip, just don't be generic in your copywriting and really make it look like you are telling a story and trying to meet your customers' needs. Also, add your favicon so that when people visit your site, your logo will appear on the tab. Part of branding your store is to make it look as legit as possible. You can do that by going to your Shopify dashboard, go to Online Store, Pages, and add the following pages. Your About Us page. This is to tell your story and really make it about your customers and a bigger cause. Ideally, you do not want to be self-seeking here. Like, oh, we made this store to make a ton of money. You'll want to say something like this instead. Your FAQ page, which you can get a template of from Shopify on this blog, shipping and returns policy, which you can also get a template of from Shopify, but from this blog instead. Your refunds policy, privacy policy, and terms of service, all of which you can generate a template of in the policy section of your Shopify settings. Also, do not forget to implement these pages on your store by including them in the navigation menu of your header and footer. You don't need to include your policy pages on your header though. Just add them to your footer like this. Now you will need to find and integrate winning products to your store. To find great products with reliable pre-vetted suppliers, head over to SaleHoo Dropship. SaleHoo Dropship will allow you to discover products of pre-vetted suppliers from all over the world. You can use the search bar to find a supplier for a particular product. You can even filter by where it can be shipped to, especially where your customers live, where it can be shipped from, especially useful if you want fast shipping times, delivery estimate, category, price, and number of orders the supplier has fulfilled for the product. Once you have decided on a product, you can simply import the product to your store in just a few clicks. Just click the product, click Add to Import List, go to your import list, fill in the details about the product, or you can do that on Shopify, and click Upload to Shopify. Now you have the product imported to your store. You can now prepare your product page. So head over to Products on your Shopify dashboard, click the product that you imported and do the following. Add product title, description, photos or videos, pricing, inventory, SKUs, shipping fees, variants, SEO titles, and meta descriptions, which should auto-generate. Make sure to activate your product status. Let's also quickly go through how to write a powerful product title and description. I'll have an example that you can use. For your title, it's best to come up with a unique name for the product, like Flare Flaps for Jeans sounds pretty unique and branded. You can include a sort of subtitle with it, like 90s Vintage Button Fly 2. For your description, just keep it benefit focused, and you can follow this format. Have a short attention-grabbing title, short description, and highlight the key benefits. If you have any product video, you can use Canva to create GIFs too. Now let's go to the product page to see what else we can improve. The description and title look nice and all, but we need to build trust too if we want people to buy from us. We can do this by setting up a place where people can write reviews by using apps like Judge.me. And we can include trust badges with Trust Hero. Now our site is looking a lot more trustworthy, but if we're going to get a customer, we might as well get them to buy as many things from our store as possible. We can do this by creating bundles to increase the average order value on our store. Let's use a products bundle app by Booster Apps to add product bundles like this. You may want to bundle by offering another product in your collection, in which case you will need to create your product collections. Or you can just use the same product and say like, buy 2, get 20% off. You may have also realized that I have been recommending a lot of apps. If you're concerned that you have too many apps and it will slow down your site, you can get an all-in-one app like Vitals that has all the same functions of the apps I mentioned, but packed into one. Now you are pretty much ready to start accepting online payments. But before that, you will need to make sure that you know which countries you are selling to, because some countries do have a preferred payment method, and it would be ideal if you can offer that. For example, in the USA, PayPal is very common, but in the Philippines, using an app like Gcash is more common. While doing this, make sure to set your markets in Shopify markets so that you can give a more custom experience to your shoppers by collecting the appropriate duties and import taxes at checkout. But only do this if you're selling in a country where Shopify markets can work. Also include a currency converter app so that when customers make a payment, they will not get shocked by the conversion rate and abandon their carts. A currency converter app we recommend is Multi-Currency Converter Hero, which is completely free. For your payment gateways, the most common ones are PayPal and Stripe, and is something most merchants use for their e-packet country customers. Some merchants may not have access to these services depending on where their residence is, so it might be useful to set up a company overseas if you encounter that issue. You can use a service like firstbase.io if you need to set up a company in the USA, for example, because you would like to use Stripe as your payment processor. Finally, you have to set up your email campaigns. You can use Klaviyo, which is a very popular email marketing software. In Klaviyo, you can set up your abandoned cart emails, welcome email flow, and pop-up offer. You can use the templates that they have within Klaviyo, so you don't need to write your emails from scratch. You're going to want to make sure that you do this for 3 reasons. First is because you will want to collect email addresses to build an email list which will be your audience for email marketing. Next is because you definitely do not want to leave money on the table by having a customer only visit once with a purchase Or maybe they visited and did not even purchase. If you decide to run ads, this would make them a bit wasteful. Finally, this will help with your advertising as you can create lookalike audiences on Facebook with the email list you gathered. A good abandoned cart email has a really interesting subject line that makes customers want to open right away. Something like, "Did you forget this?" or "Oops, you forgot something." If you've ever bought anything online and didn't check out, you're almost certain to get an abandoned cart email so you can find inspiration from those. In the email, be sure to also show the items left in the cart and potentially a discount so that they are more inclined to buy it. Also, include a checkout button so they can be led to their checkout cart right away. Here's an example. As you can see, it is asking whether you left something in your cart. It has the item that was left in the cart and a checkout button. A good welcome email also needs a subject title that hooks the customer. In this email, you can send them a gift, tell them to follow you on social media, or offer them an exclusive discount for joining your newsletter. You can then create a series of emails that everyone would get if they were to sign up. The purpose of these emails should be to introduce new products every once in a while, offer discounts, and engage with your customers so they get more hooked to your brand. Here's an example. As you can see, this welcome email offers a free trial of the subscription plan and even explains how their subscription works. A good pop-up offer is supposed to catch your site visitors' attention right away, before they leave your site. You can use eye-opening color combos and short phrases that offer benefits to them, like a discount code or a free gift, in exchange for their emails, of course. But be sure to require less form fields when asking for their emails so that there's not so much friction for them to sign up. You really just need their email at the end anyway. Here's an example. As you can see, it is eye-catching, has the discount offer, and has only one form field to collect the email address of the customer. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you want to integrate products to your store and start selling instantly, you can join SaleHoo Dropship to access 8,000 plus dropship suppliers who have been vetted and tested. If you want to go beyond dropshipping and work with manufacturers and wholesalers, you can check out SaleHoo Directory too. It has also 8,000 plus pre-vetted suppliers from different industries all over the world. Thanks everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video.